I want you guys to meet my friend Robert. A few months ago, I had Robert on the channel when he was making around 2 to 3K per month as a beginner copywriter. He only had a few clients, but he knew exactly what he had to do to scale to that magical 10K per month. So I gave him some time, he locked the frick in, and just a few months later, he's now making 13K a month with copywriting. In this video, I want to break down exactly how he did it. Now, quick warning. This isn't going to be a typical interview where we talk about how good it feels that we're making money and how you just need to fix your mindset. No, today I want to actually help you. I want to show you the exact steps Robert took from going from a struggling copywriter to now being a six-figure business owner using the power of copy, and the exact outreach strategy that gave him the dream clients he's currently working with. So if I were you, I would grab something to take notes because just one or two of these lessons could change your life forever. So let's get right into it. Robert, it's been a minute, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have been here, I guess.
You've been grinding. Our setups are looking more professional. We've been making more money.
A bit, yeah.
Heck yeah, man. So last interview we left off, you admit, I think you were doing like around 2, 3K a month because you did like 10K in 4 months or something like that, right?
It's a bit different. Like in January, it was 2K, February 3K, and March it was 5K, and that's how I think I did
Nice.
up to 10K.
So around
And
5K.
yeah, and more. That was March, yeah.
So how about now? What are we looking at?
Uh, Last month, 13.7K cash collected, and right now we are at 9.9, and tomorrow potentially a new 6K deal comes through. So
Nice.
yeah, that's where we are at right now.
Well, congrats, man. It's not been
Thank
that
you.
long.
True though.
It really
That's a
hasn't.
lot.
That's crazy. Well, I appreciate you coming back on, and I know we talked about doing another one whenever you were making 5 because we knew it would be a matter of time. But you're making more money. You've learned a lot more lessons. You have more to share with everybody. So let's just kind of do a quick little 2-minute recap for anyone who missed the last one on how you stumbled into copywriting, and then we'll kind of update them on what you've done so far after that last interview.
Yeah. So copywriting for me was kind of an instantaneous decision where I knew I wanted to do some kind of online business and sell high ticket, right? But I wasn't sure exactly what would fit me. And my homie showed me the idea of just, doing something with copywriting. I knew it exists as a skill, but I wasn't really into it. Then I met you, of course, on your YouTube channel. I consume your content. And I'm like, man, this guy teaches from first principles. I'm buying his program. Joined like that. Yeah, and that was like my entry to copywriting. And I started as everyone starts, like something like sales pages, anything I can sell. Like I just want to sell. Then of course I knew from my personal, experience and my God-given gifts, I just for some reason like content, really just
Mm.
love content. And then I was like, why don't I use my copywriting skills with content? And so at that moment, that was March exactly, where I shifted specifically to YouTube, because that's what I think is the best place to, help a creator grow, because it's more
Mm.
intentional viewers and these sorts of stuff. And right then, my copywriting service transitioned to one specific copy on YouTube, which is an organic VSL. Because from my perspective, how I knew it back then, no one really does it. And it's something that people do want to use for themselves because the conversion rates go up. And so I started selling that service specifically. And from there, transitioning to the organic VSL alone, I transitioned into some sort of a YouTube agency. And that was the time where I really build like a real business, not just, doing copywriting gigs here and there. And that's what we are right now, scaling as much as possible. To be honest with you, just today, our MVP for our own lead search, software just finished. So it's like the steps has been crazy, like from going
That's
from
wild.
trying to make, sales page gigs or something like that to actually being in a place where we are building our own software, so we have competitive advantage, plus we can search as many leads as possible. So yeah, it's like shit's changing pretty fast.
And dude, that's something that I want to talk about in this interview specifically is a lot of people misunderstand copywriting and versus agencies or dropshipping or all this. Whenever you're doing an agency, you're essentially learning acquisition. That's it. But you don't end up learning a whole lot of fulfillment because you're so focused on just getting clients. Versus copywriting is usually the opposite. You learn all of this stuff about how to deliver stuff that really works for clients, but because you don't have a productized offer, an actual result, you struggle as a copywriter as a freelance gig. But I think people have seen it with Copy Elite over and over every single week. You guys just like making a little bit and then all of a sudden making a lot. And so I kind of want to zoom in on that transformation for our guys who have been doing copywriting for a while, but they're like, what the frick are these guys in CE doing? So you kind of mentioned it there for a second, but you stopped just doing a sales page, doing a thing, and you instead started to focus on providing a result through this one mechanism that people want. So tell me about how you kind of ran across that and what did that transition look like?
Specifically from the gigs to the organic VSL, or we are talking, okay, perfect. So I all the time love the idea of just, writing words and just selling that, like selling with words solely. That's the point. And the problem became that how do I become, in the big mass market of copywriters, how do I actually become someone that is not just trying to fight for a sales page someone needs, but like be a person who potentially people will come back to, or like people just, share my, how do you say it, like share me with other people, like just these sorts of things. I was thinking from the perspective of like trying to actually build a real business, not just making $1,000 or $2,000 here. And I was like, and also that was one point which really you dialed in for me on those group coaching calls we were in. Is like, if you master really just one piece of copy, like that alone can make you more than $10,000 in a month, because good copywriters are required. That's not like a question. But if you're just, I'm somewhat good at emails, I'm somewhat good at a sales page, I'm somewhat good at this, no one is actually going to want you in their business or want them to help you. And so that's when I was like, okay, I love YouTube. And YouTube is, a really good place. Everyone wants to be on YouTube. Every entrepreneur, every info coach, consultant, whatever wants to be on YouTube. But no one knows really how to convert those leads. Yes, they know how to build a sales page, but like that's different than getting someone to just watch your content and, besides the fact of actually enjoying what you're doing, buy your program. And we all know that Iman Gaji generated $20 freaking million with one organic VSL, which is like crazy. And so what happened with me specifically, and I can, if you want, I can show you basically everything I've done, because it's all in a Miro board. I've took all the organic VSLs ever I found, and line by line, I went, analyzed every single detail. And from my, business knowledge also, and what you have taught us, it's like, okay, I want to be good at organic VSLs. I studied everything I could, and I created for myself a system that I can replicate for every single client. So I can write an organic VSL from scratch as fast as possible, and it's going to be valuable for them. And to be honest, this sounds cool, this sounds easy, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like that. It took a long time to have a consistent, reliable system. And like right now, especially with the AI help that we get, in less than an hour, I can write a organic VSL, which just banger, like literally banger, because there's so much analysis, the system, and the AI help, which, is really good. It's just easy. And so basically that was this transition. Now about that, one thing I really want to clarify potentially, because I have been talking to other copywriters in the Discord or in the community, and some of them are we are talking every single day. I'm not really attending the coaching calls nowadays. I don't really have the time, to be honest, but otherwise, like I do I'm still in touch with some people, and like all of them are like multiple of them are still in this position where like, yes, I want to be a good copywriter, but they don't really become good at one specific thing. And that's just a huge mistake because you're missing your edge. Because if you of course want to build something really reliable, the secret is being good at one thing and then potentially learning a new thing. But one thing, be a master at it. Because if you can build a system which you can replicate every single time, for every single client acquisition is easier because you don't have to, somewhat lie to get a client because you know what you're doing. You have a system and like you can talk from that confidence perspective. Like, I know what I'm doing, and you actually enjoy it more. It's not that you land a client and like, what do I do? Like, what do I exactly do? So that's that. But one thing people don't understand about that is that it's hard. Like it's not easy. Like I will say from my perspective, just about these organic VSLs, because that's my main thing. I didn't get a lot of organic VSLs because there is not a lot, which is good. But all the ones I could find, I studied. And I even read through one of Iman Gadzhi's event. At that top point, that was the One Thing event. It was 50,000 words. Oh my God, it took so much time to read every single, and like, it's not just reading it, but like I had to question everything, so I learned.
Yeah.
And that's what really taught me copywriting. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect copywriter, of course, but I'm now at a position where whatever copy I write, I have the basis of copy, but when specifically an organic VSL, it's like this. And of course, the first organic VSL, it took me 2 days to write it. Like, okay, we can talk about this. Yeah, it's like not bad, but I've written it. Then on the client's channel, it just flopped. I'm like, okay, that's bad. What's the problem? Iterate on the system. And with this, I come up with my own system, which is really good. So yeah, maybe I yapped a bit too much, but
No, I love that. And I kind of want to, it's not something I talk about in the videos too much yet because most people aren't there. But if you really want to hit 10K a month of copywriting, it's so much simpler than anyone could imagine. And the closest place we look to is in sports because we're paid on performance. And that's what people want to be. But they want to be paid without the performance.
yeah.
So basically saying, I want to be paid Ronaldo's salary without ever being as good as Ronaldo. And Ronaldo's also not practicing tennis, golf, and swimming at the same time as he's practicing soccer. And so people get a lot distracted where it's like, if you want to hit 10K a month, you need to provide a specific type of person with a very specific result using a thing that's believable to them that will get the result. Otherwise, you don't get clients. You got to have the mechanism. And so in Robert's case, it was, I help these YouTube creators get an extra how much per month using organic VSLs. And the key to all of it is that he's actually good at the organic VSLs. And he said it's hard, and I completely agree. But I also think that within 3 months, you guys can be in the top 1% of a certain piece of copy. I really believe
that's
that.
true.
I really believe it. And that's what I feel like many people don't get there because one, they're just lost watching crap like YouTube all day. And two, they're studying tons of different stuff. Or three, they just get bored of the one thing that works is doing exactly what Robert did. You find the best people. You don't buy their courses, by the way. You just do, like, you look at what they're doing if you want to learn that thing. You find the best people. You study every single word of it. You try it yourself and fail. You do that for a couple months, and you'll be in the top 1%, in my opinion.
I even want to challenge that. I think it's much easier. I will tell my honest perspective about how much time it took for me because I remember completely, like perfectly. It took me 2 weeks, but every single day it was almost 8 hours of writing or analyzing and coming up with a way where I can replicate that. Like I've written a bunch of test copy, which is similar. And, I sent it for you to analyze. It's trash. Again, next one. Trash. Next one. Trash. Next one. Trash. But this is how I learned it. And if someone is not willing to put in the effort, the time, and the willingness to fail into becoming the top 1% in one specific copy, then they're never really going to. But like when you have the dedication, 3 months is just, I would say that it's just too much. It's like 1 month is more than enough for you.
Yeah. And then that's kind of inspired the change behind the Copy Elite stuff. I know you've been to a few since we launched kind of Copy Elite 2.0 Discord, but I stopped having other coaches. I stopped having copy review channels and I started coaching every day for hours and having one-on-one calls. Because I know like if Robert decides he wants to learn this and he shows up every single day and I review his stuff, he will get better 100 to 1,000 times faster than someone who's just like buying a course and looking at stuff and maybe trying this. Like you need to be writing, you need to have people to tell you what's wrong with it. You need to go figure out yourself, do it again every single day. And like you said, 2 weeks, bro, that's like nothing.
Yeah, it's
People's
true.
standards are just so low, man. It's so low.
Of course, like that's just 100% true. But like the other thing, which I for some reason I'm not going to say I'm the unique, I'm so good, but like for
The
some
snowflake.
reason, I like for some reason for me it's really easy to think in systems. And so what that really allowed me to do is after I've read like 3 organic VSLs, I've just spotted a structure that everyone's using and like,
Yeah.
interesting. Does the next one has the same structure? Oh my God, it has the same structure. Why does this structure work? Okay. And like the fact is that people, this is a problem in my perspective. People want to do it for the money. I
Hmm.
enjoy content. There's a difference. I want to
Facts.
understand the why. I'm not here to learn organic VSL so I can sell it to someone else in that sense. I'm here because I actually enjoy content for some reason. And I know that this is going to be a huge advantage for me and for my clients. And so that's why I've seen other people like handwrite an entire notebook like this, an entire notebook like this with copy, and I ask them like, what did you learn, how good are you at copy, and like I'm like, how, like, did you try to question every single word you have written, every single word you have, rewrite from someone else? No, I was just doing it. Like, then how do you expect it to happen? Like, of course, your mind is just going to, for some reason, save all those words that people are writing because you handwrite them. No, you have to think. Like, I think it's not just the action and like the really low, how do you say this? You mentioned it a minute ago, like this, not low barrier to entry, but people's
Standards.
uh, yeah, standards are really low, but like people just don't want to think. And that's again something that could potentially decide what kind of side you want to be in.
Yeah. No, and there's a degree of like there's we are the problem, right? A good copy is the problem. I'm serious.
Yeah,
Like we all sold in these programs that say essentially they all say the same thing, right? Buy my
yeah.
program, AI will do all the work, you'll get rich. That's I mean that's the entire big idea of every sales message that's happened in the past year seems like. And great copy is the issue. But at the same time it's like, man, do you guys not enjoy this a little bit? Like, do you not enjoy breaking down copy like a tad? Because I mean, I'm obsessed. And not everyone should do it. You know, if you're watching this and you're just kind of like, I'm trying to make a bag, like, you should probably go do anything else. Um, but if this is
um,
interesting to you, if psychology, if like, bro, you should be a setter. If you want to make a grand a month as quick as possible, just go be a setter or something. But if you
yeah,
want to
that's
like, if
true.
you want to play this game like for years to come and be one of the marketers pulling the strings and somebody who, you know, is really running these big promos, bro, get ready, like get strapped in because it's gonna be fun as frick, but you're gonna have to study, you're gonna have to like
And I will tell you my perspective. Like, I don't know if you have been at the start of your journey, but like for a time you were thinking about like I am doing it, but there was no upside. Like you had a huge input,
Mhm.
but no huge output. And I'm not talking about watching videos. Like if you are watching this and you think that the input is watching videos, that's not input. Uh, but like the output is not there yet. You think that, oh my God, do I have to get a 9 to 5? Do I have to do this? But like when you get to a point where it's like, oh, Like for example, when I got to the 10K point, I was like, man, this works. And I'm like, this is now where it gets fun.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
now not the point whether it works or not, but it's a point of my skills. That's when it really shine through. It's not it's not about, some kind of outer thing I can point to. That's the reason I'm not succeeding. That's the reason. Or I'm afraid whether I'm not going to succeed because I've proved it for myself.
Mm.
And it's like it gets fun from that point on. But in any shape or form, and this was a problem with me as well, you have to make a decision. If I go into this, then do it forever or don't go into it.
Yeah.
And I seen this, in my older friends who's like, they went, how do you call it, like join the army, because in the army you can work some years and like they got some huge pay, I don't know, something like that, the huge pay. But like after that, if they go and work a 9 to 5 in, I don't know, construction, was the army worth it? Like either do it forever or just don't do it, in my opinion. In a similar fashion, if you're thinking about copywriting on like or anything else, like literally, if you're thinking about it like, yeah, I want to make some money, but like that's all, then I don't think that's really your solution, because you want to take the easy work and then just do something which is easy, like work for someone who tells you what to do, and
Yeah.
that's all,
Yeah.
I guess.
No, I agree. And I think it's just tough because it's not for everybody, but the people who it's for, they need to know this stuff, you know? And
Yeah.
also, that's why I launched Copy School, for anybody wondering. We now have a $150 a month program. So it's like from paying 4K versus 150, you get to find out whether or not you like this for way cheaper. And it's just better for everybody. And it keeps Copy Elite like only high level people, which is how it should be for direct coaching. But yeah, man, I think that's a huge point. Just to reiterate, number one, if this is interesting to you, like you find psychology interesting and you're willing to like study it and learn it, then bro, make the decision and commit. Because like Robert said, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, you guys will mindlessly go to college for 40 grand in 4 years when you could be making literally 10K a month in 6 months if you just sat down and did some critical thinking. Um, so that's inspiring. That's cool.
I have an
But yeah.
interesting story about that though, like the effect of psychology. I don't know if you were the same as me, and I want to share this because I think some people could relate, but not a lot, I guess. But when I firstly read the book Influence, but from Robert, how to say his name, Robert Cialdini,
Chiodini, I
Robert,
think. Chiodini, yeah.
man, I was just like, oh my God, I have the power. Like I feel the first time when you realize that there is more to mind and you can somewhat control, right? You don't want to incorrectly control people, but that's like that was such a good experience that this exists. And so I think that's, as you mentioned, like if you enjoy these things, like learning about these things, or just like, for example, when I learned about the one sentence persuasion from Blair Warren, like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? I can, like, this is so useful. Like, I just want more like this. And so I'm not sure if, how can you be on the other side where this is not fun for you?
I don't know, man. I don't get it. And I'll tell you mine because you'll love mine. I was making these raw YouTube videos about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I record myself on my porch in the middle of the woods in this poor house, and I would post them. And there was one video. The title was "I found the way to make money." It had like 200 views. I changed the title to say "I found a way to make money." It had 2,000 views overnight. And that's how I found copywriting by accident. Because I started asking
Mm.
myself, what the frick? I changed one word. I changed D to A, and this video quadrupled. And that sent me down the path that ultimately I was like, I get it now, copywriting. And that I don't think I've ever told that on a YouTube video, but that's how I found copywriting by accident.
That's really interesting. Man, these little tiny details which we wouldn't even think about. Specifically for me, of course, it wasn't just copywriting, but the fact of like being able to do these things on scale somewhat. Like that's so good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a dictator or anything like that, but like, this is so good if you think about it. Where like, it's not just you. The thing is that people misunderstand the word persuasion, I guess, because it's like if something is absolutely good, you wanna go until I don't know how you say this like correctly, but like you do everything to get that person to buy. And
Yeah.
like that's why these psychological little hacks in the brain, the shortcuts, are so good, and I love them. I love them.
Yeah, I get obsessed, man. And persuasion is neutral. Most people, use it in a wrong way sometimes, but it's neutral. And I think for me, it was the difference between everything in my life not working and everything in my life working. So if you're
Mm,
posting content, if you're running like a local business, like if you're doing anything where you're trying to get a result outside of like, a video game or whatever, if you're playing in this game of real life, the difference between not working and working is persuasion.
yeah,
It just is. Unless it's a predefined game. So like if you go to play soccer, right, persuasion probably isn't the thing because we've made it into that game. But if you're talking like dealing with other humans, persuasion is literally the light switch that makes everything work in your life. It's crazy.
I I heard a good story about it. Like it would be funny to share this. Where someone I follow is from a close country to me. Of course, I live in Romania, and it's the Balkans. Like people know some things about the Balkans. It's a crazy place. And someone who lives in a near country posted a story that like that's why you need to live in a country like this, because there is, how do you say this, like people are corrupt, and that's when you learn how to make a really good offer because it's for one person, and if you do it correctly you will win, otherwise you will lose, and that's the real business.
It's funny, man.
Yeah,
But no, it's anyways, yeah, persuasion super exciting. If you're obsessed, you should be here.
yeah.
But so let's get a little bit back on track to your story and how it can help the guys.
Mhm.
So you decide to start focusing on this one piece of copy, so you're actually good at getting the results, which then gives you confidence on calls, and you have proof to show people. A lot of people ask, "Well, KJ, what do I do if I've never worked for anybody? I don't have results." Brother, you show them your pain. Show them the
Yep.
mural of you studying 2,000 pieces of short form. Like just the first client I ever landed for my agency before I did copywriting for like thumbnail, whatever. I showed him 400 thumbnails from his niche that I had studied and put into a database, and he was like, "You're hired." Like that's what you need to do. Don't show them proof of your results because you don't have any. Show them proof of your pain and your learning, your investments. So you do that, you get these results. Tell me what it was like for after you got that first client results. What did that look like? How did you feel? And then what did you do to start kind of scaling from that? How did you leverage that?
That's a good point. That's interesting. So, as similar to you, I before copywriting, I did something else as well, and so I have been working as an editor. Well, not right now, but like I was an editor for a time, and so I had some results to leverage in the form of these people are willing to give me a quick video and these sorts of things, but like when the actual organic VSL started to perform, like every 100 views we got a sale on a product, or every like we had on $1,000 program we also had like from the YouTube video to the program's sales page we had some kind of 10% conversion rate, and I was like that's not that bad if you think about it, like
Yeah, that's
100
sick.
views, it's like them 10 people coder. And like when these sorts of things started to happen, I got more confident about my skills. Now, there was one mistake which I have to disclose I've done, and sadly, it was because of my trade. And so, what happened in March is that I made my first 5K month, and I was actually proud of myself. Like, first 5K month, that's good, right?
Yeah, that's big.
And when it came to April, I have this side of me who's a really huge overthinker, or I had this side, and that took over me. And so what happened is I kind of had a breakdown, like literally. I for some reason, and I think it comes back to psychology. We can talk about it, like past trauma and these sorts of things, but we don't really need to touch about that. What happened with me specifically is at home on my bed, I made $5,000. I started crying like frick. Like I was sitting there and crying for half an hour, just cried, like just cried like that. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. What happened? And afterwards, I was in an unclear situation. I was, running the outreach. I was getting booked calls, but it wasn't me anymore. I wasn't able to close those deals. I wasn't that good right there. I was delivering the results for the clients, like writing the copy and these sorts of things. And I started to slowly transition into a more done for YouTube thing, because I had a client who I not just helped with an organic VSL, but like helped create videos as well for him. And I had this very bad breakdown for myself, and that really put me back for a time. I was like not sure what to do, what exactly works, and my overthinking really took a hold of me. And so what happened is, after a time, me and my girlfriend, we live in Romania. We went to the Romanian beach. It's pretty cheap, and if you make USD, it's like easy to do it. And so we were there, and I was thinking like, man, the past months I had this breakdown. Nothing really worked. Nothing is good. Nothing is really working. And I realized that I was really in a negative cycle, a negative, downstream cycle, and almost like no, literally what happened is I lost all of my clients at a point where every client, the project has been done. Every client, I had a copywriting client as well who were selling copywriting. We were building his YouTube channel, and he decided to stop his YouTube channel because he thought, we can talk about it, but later, he thought that the copywriting space is changing completely and he doesn't want to continue it like this. I'm like, okay. And he stopped YouTube. My editing clients, one of them stopped their entire YouTube channel with 200k subs. I'm like, what the frick? And the other client is like, my laptop broke down for a week and I couldn't edit. And the guy, okay, don't talk about that client. And so I lost all of my clients. I was like, what the fuck? What happened? I made 5k this month. I had a breakdown and everything downhill. And I was like, man, this is ass. This is just ass. This sucks ass. This is not good. And so what do we do from here? And I realized that I made a mistake. In the point of January, February, March, I just scared. After that, I just went down. What was the problem? Well, in that space of not going upwards but downwards, I focused on non-leveraged work. Like I was sitting in my Miro board building systems, like putting one thing here, there, and nothing. I was doing no real work. I was just telling myself I'm doing something. And so I realized that, hey, I created for myself a fake reality which I'm living in. So let's put that aside and let's get back to the real world. And from that point, 24 days later, 13.7k cash collected. So this is a crazy story, right? And you know that I haven't been for a while, like online in also the community, because this happened with me. Yeah. And so I wasn't living in reality, so to speak. I had a fake reality and like everything went downhill. But when I realized everything, I was like, okay, shit needs to change. This is what happens step by step, which is first, I'm an overthinker. I was by standard. And so every decision I wanted to make, I just overthink. I was like, what's the most uncomfortable decision I can make? Let's do that. And so I had to learn sales because I had multiple sales calls in that period where I didn't close them. But when I was in a wrong situation because the Loom outreach was still working, but I couldn't close them. It wasn't me in I don't know what happened. And so I'm like, sales needs to be done. So I learned sales. And when that happened, like I started closing the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 deals on calls like this. And that's what really changed my business and my entire approach. And then from there, that's about the client acquisition part more of. Then the actual product side on like the fulfillment side, like it wasn't just from that point on, how do you say this? Just copy or like an organic VSL. Because while happily and thankfully, while I was in this situation, every single day I was analyzing something about YouTube, like just being rigorous that I want to make YouTube succeed. I want to know how YouTube works. And that allowed me to come up with very streamlined systems about how to scale and grow YouTube channels. And so that became my product. That became my thing. And I started selling that. And right now it's in a point where we are getting good results for our clients. We are increasing our volume to get more leads. And while we are doing that, we are transitioning into a point of some clients going to a consultation phase and some clients are completely done for you for higher prices and these sorts of things right now. But like, that's really the story. And I'm not sure if you know everything is clear. So if you want something to touch on, like we can be specific about that.
No, dude, that's awesome. And I like your transparency because a lot of people, they only see the wins. And it's not like it's a bunch of manipulation. It's just that you don't generally want to share your losses. It's just kind of how the internet
Yeah.
works. Like you just, when you're excited about a win, you share it. When you're losing, you kind of don't want to talk to anybody. Um, so I appreciate you sharing that. I think that's important to note because I don't know a single entrepreneur who's not been through that to some extent.
Yeah.
I know for me, it was emergency room visits twice in a week. It was rebuilding businesses, losing clients. I mean, it just happens. And I think that you make a lot of money from it. I know that people, it kind of sounds backwards, but when you have those moments where your perceived reality starts to fall, it gets a little faulty, and then all of a sudden it starts crumbling. That's exactly when you get to see, oh wow, okay, I now I see reality. And yes, it takes some
Yeah.
time to get things back up, but if you've been learning skills that whole time, they don't go away. And so all of a
Yep.
sudden, like you just keep stacking, like you said, you got the YouTube. Now you're learning how to do things with copy. Now you're learning how to position an offer. Now you get back to doing the YouTube, then organic VSL, and all of a sudden, and the Loom stuff, and then all that stacks, then sales comes in, and it just, I think
That's
that's the
true.
key, man. Is
And about that, like right now I'm so invested about my own YouTube channel, which is really really small, right? And about the fact of how much skills are important. I actually wanna do for myself an entire challenge where I literally live stream and like share everything on how I do from scratch a completely new offer and that's something I've never done and scale back to 10K per month because I'm really interested in learning more skills because it's fun. Like
yeah,
it became fun. Like I want to learn how to use webinars. I don't know. I have nothing, no clue on how to do it. If I learn how to do webinars, and if potentially I do this challenge for myself, where I live stream everything about how I would get back to 10K per month with webinars, which I have no clue how to do, that would mean that I build reciprocity with people trust me, these sorts of things, and I learn a new skill, and my already existing clients can profit from that, and we make a heck lot of money for other clients and for myself. So it's like this became fun. Now it's fun again. Like entrepreneurship is just really fun. Like I have no like I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to. I have to sit down, do these things because it's fun and I enjoy it.
I agree, man. We just launched our copywriting agency back up this month. We were gonna wait till next year, but I don't know. We just accidentally got a client. If that's how it works. But we're learning Framer. Like we're just like going all out, and it is a blast. It really is. It's so much fun, so much fun, and it helps you with like I'm helping. I'm building doing done for you solutions for coaches, and I'm a coach, and so like I'm learning new skills that I apply to my offer. I try things with my offer that are crazy that end up working that I apply to their offers, and it's just it's
Yeah,
dope, man. It's
and
dope.
that's the game. That's the game. And so, like the other thing is when you really get into is like you realize this potential. Like you can make it happen because I came from a position where I lost all of my clients and I was overthinking whether I even chose the right business model to get to 10K per month because of for whatever reason. To making 13.7 can actually enjoying every single part of it. And like,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying, that I realized that, hey, entrepreneurship is fun, one thing. And the second thing is that you have no limitation. I was thinking about that. Why, like, I know someone who has a small construction company. Why the fuck we scale that? Like, let's do that as well. Like, entrepreneurship is fun. Like, let's do
Oh
this.
yeah.
So,
And it's
yeah,
we're
basically.
blessed to have learned copy early though. Because like without copy, entrepreneurship is
It's true.
miserable.
Yeah,
Because you're
true.
just stumbling around and you're missing this entire key to the whole thing and you don't even know it's there. You're just like, why does nothing work? But
And
uh
about that, I would say one thing, like those people who are just wanna be really good at copy, I would I wouldn't just focus on copy in the sense of, writing good copy, but like creativity. How can you be creative? Because good copy, like one of the highest, leverage factors is somewhat uniqueness, right? And so that requires creativity. And for me, I think I have somewhat of an advantage because content requires creativity, copy requires creativity. And so I had to learn how to become creative. And that helps both of these skills. And so that's why it's like, okay, that you can learn the skills, but if you personally, don't improve in every single domain, it's going to be harder to really leverage those.
no man, that's it. Spot on. Spot on. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Robert. I know it's getting late, but just to kind of recap what we went over, the path to 10K a month is a lot simpler, but a little bit harder than you think. It's all about
Yeah.
learning copywriting, but not, I think it's about learning copywriting, but not seeing yourself as a copywriter. I think that traps
Yeah.
so many different people. Same with editors as well. People are like, oh, I'm an editor. I was like, well, dude, you're only going to be paid as an editor for the rest of your life if you see yourself as an editor. But if you see yourself as someone who makes things happen and you happen to know editing and copywriting and website design and webinars and sales, you just start to make money. You become someone who just makes
Yeah.
money. Uh,
That's true.
that's what Hormozy says too. Is like Hormozy learned this thing, he got jacked, and all of a sudden he learned how to teach, and then how to sell, and then all of a sudden how to build Excel sheets, and then manage, and his money just kept growing, growing, growing. Um,
Yeah, that's the game. And honestly, this is the hardest part, but like I would start with understanding how to think correctly. Because like you can learn a skill, but like if you cannot think,
yeah, that's
if you
true.
like you're watching short form content, 1 second like right now you watch a short form content, you sit down to write some copy, then you I don't know, watch a YouTube video, then you do this and you do that. It's like that's a huge problem. Like that's but like the other thing is how can you decide what to do? Like, do you do the copywriting? Do you do this? What specific copy should you learn? Well, you have to think it through. You have to critically think. You have to like go to first principles. You have to use systems thinking and these sorts of things. But like, this is why the compounding is so hard at the start because you don't see it. Those
Yeah,
things which you have to learn, but you never ever realize that you had to learn it until you're somewhat good. It's like that's when it really clicks that, wow, thank you. Like I'm thinking so much. Like I'm so happy that I watched 2 times every single Sam Alman's video. I'm so happy about it. Like I'm just that's a huge,
yeah,
upside because you learned a bunch of things. And right now it makes sense. Like what he said, what he talked about, it just makes sense.
that's
But
it,
yeah, this
man.
is what do you call it? Don't worry, I'm tired.
Well, man, I don't want to keep you up too late, but also if you're someone who just heard that and you're like, I don't know how to think, I don't know what to do. Let me think for you. Scroll down, click the description, open it up, click on Copy School, give me your 150, go through the mindset course. I don't care about your money that much, but you need to go through it. And if you put in some money,
Yep.
it'll make you do it. I'm serious. You will not regret it. If you have questions, look at all the people who've said the amazing stuff on the results page. But you guys need to learn how to think in first principles, understand environment, skill acquisition, all those things. Um, but yeah, thanks for coming on, Robert. I know that we're both really tired after working all day, so I don't want to take it too. But any last words for the YouTube audience? Because I'm telling you, man, a lot of people are watch this, and it means the world that you guys from Copy who've seen success and actually done like what they want to do will come back on and share your lessons. So I want to thank you for that, and also anything you have, any like little last words of advice, feel free.
When I was watching KJ's content, I was so hesitant to pay any kind of money for anyone because what if it doesn't work, right? But you have to accept the fact that everything is a risk in life. What's the opportunity cost? Meaning, what do you lose if you don't invest? So, if you're watching this and still, like, someone is definitely listening. And if you hear this, like, think about what can you lose if for the next 6 months nothing changes. But what can be the upside if you decide to invest any kind of amount into your future? And if you really think about it, the only logical decision is to invest, because either you win, you succeed, you make a bunch of money, or you either realize that, hey, it's harder than I thought. That's why I need to do more. That's why I need to be better. But in any shape or form, you have become better. And when all the times you're making decisions which will make you better, you will never lose in the game of reality.
That's it, man. Couldn't say it better myself. I'll say it a lot clearer though. Look, yes, I want to make money, but my real goal is that you guys win. And I've proven that because I have a free course that's 10 hours long. That's from my paid course. I built a $150 school just so I could have something cheaper for you guys to invest your money so that you invest your attention. And then I have my entire coaching 101 program. So like it's all there depending on how much money you have. You need to take action though, because he's asking like, what if it doesn't work? It does work. My question is, will you work? Because that's the only reason why this stuff doesn't, is if you don't put in the work. Because Robert is living proof that it works really well. There's
Yeah.
40 other people like Robert who can say the same. But yeah, if you learn anything from this, be inspired by Robert's journey and know that, man, you can do it from anywhere in the world too. We've got
Yes,
people
sir.
everywhere in Copy Elite. Anyways, Robert,
Man,
you're the freaking man, bro.
like people don't even think how many disadvantages I come from and still succeed. Like you hear my accent, you hear my English is my third language. Like think about my sales calls. I can't even say the English word correctly. This was, but it's still it happened. You can do it exactly like any word from the word you can succeed. Just believe in yourself and
Yeah.
just take the action, man. Just don't care. Like just work a lot.
I'll say Sam Ovens said it on the school video from last week, but he's like, you have to be the first person to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in
Yeah,
you, no one else is. So you're never going to make money because you have to be the very first person. Um, so yeah, hopefully that's inspiring and not just like, oh man, I gotta go do work. Anyways, Robert, thank you
yeah.
again, man. And see you in 3 months for the 100K interview.
100%, 100K, 30K, 30K is done.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
will be
Heck yeah.
30K is done.
Well, thank you again, man, and we'll see you on real soon. Thank Robert in the comments,
Yes,
everybody. He's still
sir.
here. Absolute beast. See you,
Yes,
brother.
sir.